Everybody, how you all doing today? Okay, this is a wonderful time and it's going to be a great session together today. My name is Wale Adekanla. If you are just meeting me for the first time, okay, today we're going to be talking about something that is very important. Okay, right now we're live on Instagram, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Welcome everyone. So let's wait a little bit for others to join. Okay, let's wait for more people to join us live. Okay, yeah, because today's topic is an important one in every organization, in every team. Okay, and I want every leader to take advantage of today's conversation. And if you are leading a team, or if you are leading an organization, if you are a team leader, or maybe you are a divisional leader, or maybe you are a ministry leader, or maybe you are a supervisor, a manager, or of teams. Okay, this is going to be a great session for you. um, I'm going to be focusing on the major things that every leader needs to focus on, especially executive leaders. All right. And if you are leading just one team or several teams, this is going to be a good uh, conversation for you. So take your pen, take your paper, take your notepad to take some notes. And if you have any questions whatsoever, let's talk about them today. I'm very much passionate about today's topic because I have worked with many leaders. I've worked with many ministry leaders, business leaders, government leaders, and I've seen all these top 10 creativity killers that I'm going to be talking about today affecting people, affecting creativity, affecting innovation. And this is why most organizations are not productive. This is why they are not creative. Sometimes leaders wonder why the people are not creative, why the people are not inventing, why that my people are not coming up with new ideas, why that they are not making things happen, right? Many leaders wonder why all these things are happening in their organizations or in their teams, and they feel like people are not creating new things, or innovation is not happening within the organization or across the organization. But this is it. By the time we are done today, it's going to be very clear to every leader that is watching me why most of the creative ideas are being killed by people within the teams and across the organization. All right. So, no matter the industry where you are, or maybe the ministry where you're serving, where you're leading, I want you to know that it's the same thing. These are principles, they are proven, tested, and they are going to help you as a leader. So if you know any leader out there, if you're watching me live on Facebook or YouTube, welcome. You can just send, let me know where you are joining from. Okay, let me know where you are joining from. I'm glad to have you here today. And if you are a leader in any organization, or if you are leading a team, let me know. If you're a manager or a supervisor, or if you're a CEO, let me know, because we're going to be talking about all these top 10 creativity killers today. All right. So are we ready? Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? I want to quickly say this before I get into that fully. Let me quickly say this. The most innovative ideas have always come from the need to do something new combined with creativity, to think in a new way. Creativity is all about creating sense out of nonsense. Okay, I want us to take care of that first. Creativity is all about creating sense out of nonsense. So think about what you think that is nonsense today. The moment someone creates something out of it, and that could be creating something new out of something that is already existing, or creating something new entirely that we have never seen before. It could be a new discovery. Okay. And that is why we cannot put aside innovative ideas, because they have always come from the need to do something new combined with the creative ideas. So creativity goes hand in hand with innovation. And there is no innovation without creativity. All right. If you are watching me live, let me quickly, I want to check how we are on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay. If you're watching me live, here we go. Okay. Cool. We're live. We're good. Someone just sent a message. I wanted to be sure that we are good. Thank you for joining, Olufemi from Nigeria. All right, I see you. Okay. Okay, here we go. Cool. So if you can hear me clearly on Instagram, I want you to just let me know that you can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly. All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me clearly on Instagram? I want to be sure. I think we got disconnected on Instagram. Okay. Can you see me? All right, cool. All right. Awesome. I wanted to be sure about that. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I want us to go in when it comes to creativity, when it comes to innovation. I want us to talk about some fundamental things before I get into the top 10 creativity killers, and why we need creative ideas, and why leaders need to create environments that enables uh, 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 environments that enable creativity and innovative ideas. See, while creativity is the ability to produce new and unique ideas, like I said, innovation is the implementation of that creativity. Okay, does that make sense? I want us to quickly look into what innovation is all about, what creativity is all about in your team or in your organization. So that means when people introduce new ideas, new solutions, new processes, or new products in your team or your organization, that is what we talk about. I mean, that is what I'm talking about when it comes to creativity. Okay, creativity, creating new things from what is existing, or something that you have never seen before, and that could be a new discovery. So the best creative culture move barriers. The best creative culture move barriers, or creativity killers, so that your people or your employees, and if you are in the ministry, people who are volunteering, who are serving, they can continue to flow, you know, uh, in the place of innovative ideas. That can enable them to continue with the flow of good ideas within the team and across the organization. Once an idea has momentum, according to Steve Jobs, he said, keep moving forward with it. Can I repeat that? Once an idea has momentum, because when it comes to generation of idea or try new ideas, many times all these expressions that I'm going to be talking about, when they happen in an organization, the idea dies. All right. But when an idea has momentum, according to Steve Jobs, I love this. He said, keep moving forward with it. So as a leader, I want you to take note of that. But if an idea does not have momentum, then there are things that you need to do. I'm going to be talking about that before we end today's conversation. Now, I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good as a person, and this is one of the things that affects most people from creating great ideas. If it turns out pretty good, then you should do something else wonderful. Stop dwelling on something that is working well for a very long time. You just figure out what is the next step. And that is what I call growth thinking. That is what I call growth thinking. Growth thinking. Okay, I think we got affected on Instagram. Let me quickly join again. Something affected us. I think we're not live again on Instagram. So if you're watching live on YouTube and on Facebook, please give me 1 minute, okay, to quickly update this. All right. Here we go. Okay. We're connecting. Now we're back. We're live again on Instagram. Okay, so you can join us on Instagram if you watch. If you want to connect on Instagram, you can join me live. I'm right here live. Thank you. Creativity is creating sense out of nonsense. Yes, it goes hand in hand with innovation. So if you're just joining me on Instagram, I want to welcome you. All right, we're getting into today's conversation on creativity. And I want to talk about top 10 creativity killers in any organization. Top 10 creativity killers in any organization. All right. So let's get into it. I think we're having issue connecting on Instagram right now, but let's go ahead for everyone that is watching me live on YouTube and on Facebook. So let's go ahead. All right. So I'll be looking this way more because I have a camera here, I have another camera here. So let's just get into it. Let me quickly say this before I start talking about the 10 things. One simple but effective way you as a leader or a manager or a leader of a team can really foster creativity at work is by removing all these creativity killers. If you want things to work according to plan, if you want people to create new ideas, if you want to have an environment where people can talk about their innovative ideas comfortably and then act on them and do something that can create new things or improve upon things that are already existing, then all these 10 killers must be removed completely in your organization. Completely in your organization. So let's face it, the world can be negative. In fact, the world is negative. So everything you see around, think about things you hear around and things you see around. You realize that people talk more about negative news than positive news. In fact, negative news travel more than positive news. Remember the last time that people, people who gossip or people who talk about, I don't know, people who like to carry news all around. Think about the last time they had a conversation with you, from 1 to ratio 10. How many, what was the percentage of positive things that they share with you compared to negative things that they share with you? People tend to talk about negative things more than positive things. So we need to face it and we need to be realistic about that. Okay. I think there is a connection issue on Instagram. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead. Each person in your team or each person in your organization, I want you to take note of something. They are facing different challenges in their life. They have family challenges. Some people have children challenges. They have community challenges. And most people have doubts from within. So when people are negative in the way they think or the way they do things, don't blame them. Okay? You need to know as a leader that they need help. They need help. This is not a time to start playing, playing games and then saying people are not doing what they're supposed to do when you know that these people have issues. Sometimes they need training. Sometimes they need teaching. Sometimes they need coaching. Sometimes they need mentoring. And there are many things that you can help your people to understand, many things you can do as a leader to help your people to grow and to remove all these 10 creativity killers that I'm going to be talking about in a moment. And I'm going to get into these 10 creativity killers right now. We're going to get into it. So before I get into it, if you are watching me live on YouTube or on Facebook, I want you to share this video. Please share this video with every leader that you know, anywhere in the world. This is going to help them. All right. And if you are a leader of a team, of a community, of a non-for-profit or profit, you're a manager, you're a supervisor, you're a CEO, an executive, whatever position that you have in an organization, I want you to know something, that this is going to help you. This is going to help you. I have studied leadership for more than 10 years. In fact, I'm very soon I'm going to mark my 15th anniversary. But let me tell you something. I've done a lot of research about this, and I've talked to many leaders. I've been in an environment of leaders across the world, and I know that these are the top 10 that can help any leader in any organization. Let me quickly see if I can connect again to Instagram for those who are watching us on Instagram. Top 10 creativity killers. You can tweet that to somebody, top 10 creativity killers, okay, in an organization. I'm about to spill out the top 10 creativity killers in an organization, but let me quickly check Instagram again. Here we go. Okay, let me see if we're going to be connecting now. We are live. Awesome. We're back on Instagram. We're live on Instagram. So I'm going to get into it right now. I apologize for everyone who was connected. We're back. Okay. If you know someone that is, that was live on Instagram, I want you to please encourage them to connect. We connect back. We're back. And I want to get into it right away. The top 10 creativity killers in any organization. So, by the way, let me say this again. Whether you are a CEO, you're a manager, you're a supervisor, you are a team lead in in a business, a government agency, or in a ministry, whatever position you have, this is going to really help you. When people start thinking about all these killers, all right, when people start talking about all these killers, this is exactly what happens. Can I tell you what happens? Let me say this to everyone watching me live on YouTube. Let me tell you what happens. These killers they damage innovative ideas. They damage innovative ideas. Number one. Okay, I'm going to say one to everyone on YouTube, and I'm going to say two to everyone on Instagram. All right. This is really good. Number one, when you hear words like this, I am not a creative person. When you hear statements like that, I am not a creative person, that is a creativity killer. That expression is a creativity killer. This is one thing I want you to know. Everyone is creative. Even though each person or everyone or anyone in the world might not even know that he or she creates something. Everyone brings unique strengths to each situation because everyone is creative. Now, what you create is always dependent on what you have on your inside. Can I say that again? What you create is dependent on what you have on your inside. If you have junks and negative things on your inside, all that you will be creating will be junks and negative things all around. In fact, you will be an ambassador of negative ideas. All right. Wow, that just came. Can you imagine someone being an ambassador of negative ideas? Wow, wow, that's important. Please take note of that. But if you have great things on the inside, and if you have, wonderful and positive things on the inside, so what happens? Then you will become someone who is creating solutions, new products in your team or your organization. Now, for this to exist, at all, and for this to happen at all in an organization, the leader must first create an enabling environment for that to happen. Okay, today we are not really talking about, the environmental issues and stuff like that. We're going to deal with that topic later. Because if we don't have that set up, all this we're talking about today is going to be void. It's going to be a waste. Okay, no matter the idea, no matter how big or good the idea is, the idea will be thrown into the trash. Number one, creativity killer. I am not a creative person. When you hear that statement in your team or in your organization, you need to kill it. If you don't kill it, it's going to kill creativity in your organization. Number two, don't ask questions. Wow. Don't ask questions. That sounds like something I'm used to. I grew up in Nigeria, and there's, especially when the young person is talking to an elderly person, many times, and elderly people will say, shut up, shut up. So many people grew up with that mindset that you don't ask questions because they've been told to shut up. And because they've been told to shut up, then they have shut down. They have shut down completely because they've been told to shut up. Shut up. Wow. Does that sound familiar to you? Let me say something. Good leaders ask great questions, and they only get answers to questions they ask. You cannot get an answer to questions you don't ask. So for you to enable and to encourage creativity in your team, in your organization, it's important to make sure that you create an environment where people can ask questions, not just allowing people to just shut up, or creating an environment whereby only one person talks and everybody is just looking. Whenever you hear that expression, don't ask questions, that is a creativity killer. That is a creativity killer. Number three, I want to say this to everyone watching me live on YouTube and on Facebook. Don't be different. Wow. Anytime you hear that statement, don't be different in an organization, say this is the fact. The fact is that being different is how progress happens in a team or an organization. Your team cannot get where they want to go by staying where you are. And in fact, your team cannot get to where they want to go if everyone is the same. Can you imagine having everyone being just like you in your organization or your team, and everyone thinks like you, everyone feels like you, everyone does things like you, and everyone is just like you, and nobody is different? Wow. Can I say this? People have different experiences. People have different knowledge. People have been through different things. They've passed through different things. They have different pasts. Okay? And if we are not very careful, if you are not very careful as a leader, when you start hearing such expression that don't be different, then you have started creating or killing creativity in your organization. So, number three, Don't be different. When you start hearing that, then you need to kill it immediately. If you don't kill it, then that statement will become a culture. All right. I mean, all people have to do is to keep doing it over and over again. Then eventually it will become a culture. It will become a pattern. It will become a way of life. It will become the way people do things. Okay. Don't ask question. Expression is a creativity killer in any organization. Number four, stay within the lines. Wow. Stay within the lines. All right. See, lines are very valuable things, very important. Standards are very, very valuable. But some lines exist only because they have never been questioned or examined. See, some standards, some cultures, exist in organizations, in teams, because they have never been questioned or examined. People have never sat down to check and to see, is this really working? Okay, this is the vision. This is exactly where we want to get to. This is what we want to achieve. These are the goals. These are the objectives. These are the parameters. Okay, when you say stay within the lines and people are not asking questions, you are not examining what is going on right now, you are not examining the current situation, the way we do things, are they really working for us to get to where we want to be? If you are always doing the same thing and everything the same way, don't expect different results. If nothing is working, or if some things are not working, then you need to start thinking about applying the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. So what are the things that are working? What are the things that are not working? Where do we need to spend more time? Okay, what are the, who are the people who are giving us, the highest, level of efficiency or effectiveness in the organization? How can we increase that, efficiency within the organization? How can we decrease things that are not working? Then you need to start applying the 80-20 rule. It works. It works. All right. So when you start hearing stay within the line, then people won't be creative. That will kill creativity in your team and in your organization. Create an environment as a leader for people to ask questions. Why do we do what we do? For people to examine, for people to reflect. Create an environment for feedback. Number 5, there is only one way. There is only one way. Mindset and expression kills creativity in any organization. I love what Thomas Edison said, that there is always a better way. Find it. There is always a better way. Find it. Anytime people start saying there is only one way to things, then that is a creativity killer. Because there is only one way that you are used to. That doesn't mean there is only one way to make something happen. Sometimes when people tell me in an organization, if I'm doing an executive training or I'm doing a training for a team or for a group of leaders, and when people say this is how we do things, okay, I quickly help them to rephrase it. This is what we know, and this is how we do what we know. It's better to say it that way, okay? Because one way that you know does not mean that is how it should always be. Are we open to ideas and feedback from people to examine what we do? Remember, in fact, this number 5, there is only one way, is connected to stay within the lines. Because when people stay within the lines, they don't examine, they don't question, and they think this is how it should be done. And this is the only way it should be done. But can I say to you, like Thomas Edison said, there is always a better way. Find it. It exists. All right? Because you don't know it does not mean it doesn't exist. All right, you are limited to what you are exposed to. You are limited to your experiences. You are limited to your knowledge. You are limited to your environment. So learn more and then get exposed to more. And that's exactly how to improve creativity in your team. Now, number 6, I love this one. Be practical. Be practical. Being practical is a very good thing. Can I say that again? Being practical is a fantastic thing. In fact, I teach people on how to be practical, how to practice what they know. But here is the main thing I want you to catch. Although being practical or being practical in your thinking is very essential, see, it can kill creativity thinking if applied too soon. Can I say that again? It can kill creativity thinking if applied too soon. So good leaders give their teams time to to be creative before leading them to get practical. They want people to brainstorm. They want people to create ideas. They want people to check, to examine, to reflect on what is working, what is not working. And then everybody arrives at a conclusion before they start being practical. Let me give you an example. Imagine if an organization does not have a good structure and they are passionate about the vision. And let's say the leader goes for a training and then returns back from the training, fresh ideas, fresh knowledge, fresh, creativity, fresh innovative ideas. And now the leader says, hey, we need to make some changes. Let's change that. Let's change this. Let's change. And you just want to change everything without first examining why the change, and then have a collective contribution from the people so that they can commit. When people are not part of the idea, don't expect them to commit. So it's okay to be practical, but it is very imperative for you as a leader to give your team some time to reflect and to understand why everyone needs to move, and then when we need to move together. Number 7. All right, we're now at number 7. Think of your image. Think of your image. Wow, I love this one. I mean, I want you to quickly type something. Let me know what you have learned so far before I talk about number 7. What have you learned so far? What have you learned so far from the top, from the 6 top creativity killers that I've talked about? What have you learned so far? Let me know. Yeah, 80-20 rule. All right. Okay. Great question. Great question. Now, I'm going to talk about that as I move on. I'm going to talk about the 20-80 rule, which is very important. Very, very important. This is why most organizations struggle. Most leaders struggle. They don't understand how to prioritize things and then where to put their resources and where to focus on. All right. So this is it. Think of your image. Leaders who are more concerned with how they look than how their teams perform will always have issues. Because great performance begins with great thinking. Can I say that again? Great performance begins with great thinking. When a leader or people start thinking about their image, oh, my image, my position, how big I am, you know my personality. All right. In fact, most people who think about their image don't even have image at all. Most people who think about their personality, they don't even have one at all. Oh, they think about who they are. They don't have one at all, because leaders get out of their position to connect with people. They relate with people. It is called permission. Because at that level, people follow you because they want to, not because they have to. Think of your image. When people start thinking about their image, but not about the goal of the team, then there is a problem. When they are looking beyond the performance of the team and how they can work with the team to make things happen together, when it becomes me, not us, all right, then there is a problem. It's not about you, it's about the team. It's not about you, it's all about the organization. Okay. Number 8, it's too much work. It's too much work. Does that sound familiar? It's too much work. All right. This is very interesting. See, coasting is always easier in the short term than thinking outside the box. Being in the box is easier than thinking outside the box. In fact, many times I tell people that everything you're looking for is outside of your comfort zone. Say, being in the box is very easy. Doing everything you are comfortable with, doing everything that is so easy, doing everything that you are used to. All right. Not checking the standard, not examining the lines. I mean, it's so easy, and that's why everybody does it. But getting outside your comfort zone, thinking outside the box, is not easy. Do you know why it's not easy? It's not easy because coasting is always easier. If it is easy, everybody will do it. Everybody will be doing it. The reason why most people don't do it is because it is not easy. But leaders who are not willing to do the work will eventually be out of the work. So when you start hearing that statement, that phrase in your team, your organization, oh, this is too much work. Oh, this is too much work. I don't know why they're just giving us this work. They're just giving me this work. And everybody is complaining and they don't want to think outside the box. Then that is a creativity killer. That statement, that expression is a creativity killer. As a leader, it's important to assess that and then to start looking for ways to remove that in your organization. Number 9, we can't afford to make a mistake. I see leaders talk about this sometimes, especially leaders who have not learned what it means to lead. It's for example in ministry. If you are in ministry, you will know very well that calling is not the same thing as ministry. Calling is not the same thing as ministry. Being a ministry requires not having this kind of statement. Having a team, having an organization, leading the people, and creating an environment that enables people to be innovative, you have to kill this statement. We can't afford to make a mistake. See, that is one thing I always tell people that work around me. People that work around me, teams that I have globally. There's something I always tell them. I am comfortable for you to go big and fail than to go small and win. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that because I want you to make mistakes, but don't keep making the same mistakes every time. All right. You have to learn. So for people to be creative, there is a system that needs to be created. In fact, I call it the four levels. Very important when it comes to creativity. Number 1 is to try. You need to have an environment that enables people to try, that allows people to try new ideas. Let them try. It's okay to try. See, some of the greatest inventions in human history were not born from, they were born from mistakes made in the messy, creative processes. All those great inventions you see in the world today. You know about Thomas Edison. Think about the light. Think about all these great inventions. Go and talk to all these manufacturing companies, and you will hear their story about how they have failed before succeeding with the product that people are using today. The leader who never makes a mistake soon takes his orders from one who does. The leader who never makes a mistake soon takes his order from one who does. And what am I talking about here? Let people try. When that statement is being expressed in an organization, we can't afford to make mistakes. Then creativity won't be expressed. It is a killer. It is a creativity killer in any organization. People should try. It's okay to fail. All right. It's okay to fail. Let it be okay to fail, but not making the same mistakes, because you need to learn from your failures. All right. It remains failure, and the person who is failing remains a failure if the person is not learning from the failure. So it's try, fail, learn, improve, and do it all over again. Try, fail, learn, improve, and do it all over again. There is a process there. But this is one of the processes I teach in every organization, that wants to be creative. And I'm going to talk about the 10th one. Failure is final. Failure is final. Anywhere people talk about failure is final, when you start hearing that expression in your organization, trust me, you have started killing creativity in your organization. But if you hear people talking about that, look for ways to stop it. Failure is not final. Failure is part of the process. The more leaders do, the more they fail. Show me someone who has never failed, and I will show you someone who doesn't try. The more people fail, the more they learn. The more they learn, the better they get. The more you learn, the better you become. Show me someone who fears failure. Show me someone who has given up because of failure, and I will show you someone who can never create something new. If you want to create something new, if you want things to become better in your organization, in your team, if you want people to continue to produce innovative ideas in your organization or in your team, then you have to kill this expression. Failure is final, because failure is not final. It's a step towards the solution that you are looking for. You try, you learn after failing, and then you improve. So don't forget, try, fail, learn, and then you improve. Failure is not the final. These are the top 10 creativity killers. If you have missed some part of it, I will encourage you to watch the whole video, because this is really good. And this is going to help you in your organization or in your team. I've taught this many times. I've learned so much from many of my mentors and many of my coaches. I've been impacted, and there is one thing that I strongly believe, that everyone can get better. Every leader can become a better leader. Everyone has the potential to lead, even if you have no idea. The reason why most people are not leading is because they are not learning to lead, because leadership is learnable. Leadership skills are learnable. You can learn to lead, because people who are controlling today, they have learned to become. And you can unlearn, learn, and then relearn. So let me give you a recap as requested. But before the recap, let me quickly say something about the 80-20 rule that Akindele asked that question about the 80-20 rule. So imagine you are in an organization or a team where two people are very effective, or maybe there is a particular, let me use a product. You have a product, and this product, you've realized that These 2 products out of our 10 products, they are selling fast. They are selling so fast. Everybody wants these 2 products. You know what you should do? You need to prioritize those 2 products. Pump 80% of your resources into those 2 products and start selling them because people are asking for them. It is important for you to understand that when things are not working, then you need to look for ways to make adjustments as needed. Make adjustments as needed. I just gave you an example of an advice that I shared recently with someone. You can apply this in your life. Where do you need to spend 80% of your time? What are the top 20% activities that you need to invest 80% of your time? So prioritize them. Okay, these 20% activities, if I invest 80% of my time here, then I can get 80% results. I had there was somebody I was advising recently, and I said, you want to get the best out of your business? Identify your top 20% clients. Identify them. And then invest 80% of your time on those people. Make sure they are well refined. Make sure you satisfy them. Make sure they are completely satisfied. It is okay to increase your prices because they are satisfied. Okay? And that is the application. You can use that. You can apply that in any area of your life. You can apply that in any area of your life. So let me quickly give you a recap of the top 10 creativity killers. Number 1, I am not a creative person. That statement is a creativity killer in any organization. Don't ask questions. When people start saying that, you need to kill it. If you don't kill it, it's going to kill innovative ideas in your organizations. All right? People should be able to ask questions, okay? Because they are not dummies. They are humans. Number 3, don't be different. Oh, when you start hearing that, that's a problem. Everybody won't be like you. In fact, if everybody is like you, that will be a problem. Don't be different is a creativity killer. Number 4, take note of this. Number 4, in fact, I took time to explain this. Stay within the line. When people say stay within the line, there's no problem with that. There's no problem creating a standard that works. But when you say stay within the line, don't cross the line, then you are saying people should not ask questions. And whatever that is happening within the organization should not be questioned or examined. That is creativity killer. That is a creativity killer. All right? Stay within the line is a creativity killer. Number 5, there is only one way. Who said it? Who told you? You are limited to your experience. You are limited to your knowledge. You are limited to where you have been. You are limited to your capacity. There is still more. You can become better. There is always room for improvement because of the way you know, because of one way you know. And is that why you are saying there is only one way? And I also mentioned what Thomas Edison said, that there is always a better way, and you need to find it. And that should be the language in an organization if you want to improve, creative ideas. Number 6, very important. If you're writing things down, be practical. It's okay to be practical, but allow your team, allow your people to examine the theories, the principles. Let them understand before they start applying, before they start taking the step to be practical. It's okay to be practical, but it is very important for your team to have that creative ideas. Allow them to brainstorm, to have that opportunity to share their own thoughts. Give them the room for them to be creative, to brainstorm, to share their thoughts. You never know. In fact, if you don't allow the people to share their own creative ideas, you are losing. The leader is the one that is losing because there are some things that people people you are leading, there are things they know that you don't know. There are places they've been that you have never been. There are things they can execute and make happen that you cannot. All right. Number 7, think of your image. Think of your image. Who tells you you have an image? In fact, the moment you start thinking about your image, then you don't have one. You don't have one. All right. It's not about you. It's all about the team. Can I say that again? It's not about you. It's all about the team. It's all about the team. Imagine on a soccer pitch. Imagine if just one person is just playing around and just thinking about his own image. I am the star. I won the best player last year, last season. So this time around, I want to protect my image. I want to make sure I have the ball. And every time I'm the only one playing all around. It's a collective effort. All right. So when you're working in a team, it's not about you. It's all about the people. It's all about the people. It's all about everyone on the team. Number 8, it is too much work. When you start hearing that it is too much work, then there is a problem. Eventually, people will give up. Eventually, people will be out of work. People will be out of work. Because when people start thinking or people start saying it is too much work, that means they are not thinking outside the box. All right. And sometimes people might need training. If they need training, then create a training program for them and help them to think outside the box. Number 9, we can't afford to make a mistake. When people say that we can't afford to make a mistake, they are telling you, hey, just like, don't think. Don't think. All right. We can't afford to make a mistake. Think about all the great inventions we have today in the world. All right. They all came out of plenty of mess. Creative ideas always emerge from errors and mistakes. So the leader who does not encourage that, or whenever this kind of statement is being made within an organization, then it can kill creativity in the organization. And number 10, failure is final. Failure is not final. All right. Try, fail, fail forward. I like the way Johnson Maxwell put it. If you have never read the book, please pick it up. Failing Forward. It's a very great book. Learn to fail forward, learn from your failures, improve, and then do it all over again. And that's all you need. And take note of these 10 creativity killers. If you can kill them, then things will move forward in your organization. By the way, every leader has the responsibility to create an enabling environment for people to think, for people to create, and for people to implement great ideas. There should be a structure, there should be a process of implementing new ideas. No idea is a wrong idea. All right. It's important for a leader to have that kind of environment that no idea is a wrong idea. Even if the idea is not useful right now, then keep it somewhere, put it in the backlog. All right. And then keep on refining and checking those ideas. One day, you never know, that idea, may likely be the one that will save your team, save you, or save you thousands and thousands or millions of dollars in your organization. And that's what I want to encourage every leader today that is watching me out there, or anyone that will watch this video. Please look for ways to kill these 10 creative ideas and creativity killers in your organization. If you don't, they will kill innovative ideas in your organization. And this is where I'm going to stop today. We just shared a link right now. That link, I encourage you to click that link if you want to schedule an executive coaching or training discovery session with me, for sure. Definitely reach out to my team. My team will schedule that for you, and we can have an executive coaching or training discovery session for you and your team or your organization, so that you can continue to to create this environment that allows creativity and the innovative ideas in your organization. We're here to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. And that's what I do every day, supporting leaders to build systems, supporting leaders to do what they have never done before, to upgrade, to get more, and to become more in every way. Thank you so much for watching my live video today. For those watching me live on Instagram, for those watching us live on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, thank you so much. I see you. I see you. All right. The link is right there. Next week, we're not going to have a live session next week, but we're going to have another one that will be, um, a week after next week. Okay. So I want you to have the information and then to have it down today. It's going to be on the 23rd. On the 23rd, I'm going to have a guest. um don't miss this. Don't miss this. This is one of the best brains when it comes to leadership teaching globally. All right. Odeyemi Olayiwole is going to be live here with us. He's a leadership development expert. He's the CEO of Inspire to Lead, and is going to be here live with me, the transformation table. We're going to be talking about business growth, how you can grow your business, how you can start your own business. If you're struggling in any way to grow, to scale, it's going to be live, uh, right here to share all those powerful strategies that you can use. So prepare your questions. And on 38th, that will be the last Friday in June, I'm going to have my wonderful sister here, BC Akentayo. All right. She's popularly known as the Amazon. All right. Yeah, she's a business growth expert. She's going to be live here, e-commerce and branding, digital marketing consultant. Think about anything that you want to do when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding yourself and presenting what you have to the world. She's going to help you that day. She's going to be live here that day. We're going to go deep into the conversation. So if you are a coach, you're a consultant, you're an executive, and you're thinking about taking your business to the next level or taking your organization to the next level, don't miss any of these live sessions that I'll be having with these wonderful experts who are transforming lives globally. All right, so this is where we're going to end today. Thank you so much for watching me, and wish you a wonderful weekend. Remember, we have the link shared. You can just click that link and schedule your own session. Remember, one thing I do every day is raise an eagles, and I will continue to do this until you succeed. And bye for now. Talk to you later.